Hello, hello. Good morning. Ali Benjamin here with Growing Edge Live. Welcome to our every Sunday, just adjusting my camera there, every Sunday spiritual tune in and tune up here at Growing Edge Live. And if you're joining us for the first time, welcome. We meet every Sunday here at 10 a.m. Mountain Time for a little spiritual tune in and tune up. So welcome, welcome, welcome. And when you jump on, I'd love it if you'd share where you're watching from. I'm here in Ogden, Utah, and super excited to be alive today, to have this opportunity to connect with our virtual tribe here at the Satya Center in Ogden, Utah. So welcome, welcome. We'll give it a few minutes for people to jump on. And yeah, hey Rhonda, love you. Where are you? Let us know where you're from, because our Satya community, our Growing Edge Live community has grown. We have been offering a virtual come together, get together for a year now. This month, November 2019 is when we started doing these live virtual gatherings. And since then, our community has grown on Facebook, on YouTube, and on Instagram, where we may not know each other, we may never ever meet each other, but yet we come together with a common hunger and desire to grow, expand, to step out of the small confines of our own mind and our own paradigm, to expand our perspective and to have a closer walk with life in a more meaningful and fulfilling way, to be change agents, I like to call us. So welcome and good morning, and here we go.
Free my mind, open my heart with the whispers of truth, to live a conscious life, to live a conscious life on the growing edge, on the growing edge.
Oh. Good morning, I'm Ali Benjamin with Growing Edge Live, broadcasting here at the Satya Center in Ogden, and I'm so glad that you are joining us today, whether you're here in person or you're watching this back at a later date. And thank you to our ongoing supporters for financially supporting us. We are a nonprofit and we exist solely on donations. And so your generosity gives our vision and mission legs, and that is to inspire and support and celebrate conscious evolution, healing hearts and transforming lives. So welcome and namaste. Let's connect with a little grounding meditation. If you will, close the outer eyes and take a breath and really sink into this moment wherever you are. Whatever you're doing, whether it's the morning or the afternoon or the evening, if you're watching this back, or if you're here with us live in these morning hours on the 1st of November, as we wake up after having a beautiful full blue moon last night on Halloween, and we enter into the month of November, which is the Thanksgiving month. And it's in this month of Thanksgiving that we are reminded to count our blessings. It's so easy to get sucked into the world of effects and have this notion that something's missing or we don't have something. But really, if we take some time to simply slow down, as we take some time to ponder all that we have to be grateful for, to count our blessings, we realize how fortunate we are. We realize how much there is that supports our life, our shelter, the food we eat, the friends and family, all of our creature comforts, our animal companions, our clothes. And maybe take a moment to do a quick inventory of all that you have to be grateful for. And as we bring those things into our awareness, what that does, it elevates our energy, it elevates our capacity to feel grateful and to feel happy when we actually look at what's supporting us, what we have to be grateful for. We see how blessed we are. And that is a boost of energy, a boost of vitality occurs when we get our minds out of what might be missing or what we don't have and place it on what we do have, and we praise it. It lifts us up. So let's be lifted up together today as we simply arrive in this moment, as we occupy this space of expansion and curiosity, as we let go of all of the busyness of the day, and we simply arrive in this moment eager, with a certain degree of anticipation for what's to unfold this morning, for how we come here together to be spiritually fed, to be inspired. And so let us arrive fully in that moment, fully receptive, fully willing, fully able to receive. So I give thanks for each and every one. I give thanks for this time to be nourished and this time of community. Now the breath. Release and open the eyes and be fully present in this moment. So welcome, welcome, welcome. Ali Benjamin here. And today my title for my download is Vote Again and Again. And this isn't a political conversation, although it was inspired by all of the talk of voting. We as Americans, we have the opportunity to vote this Tuesday in just a couple of days, and so I thought it would be the perfect time to explore the idea of voting on a metaphysical level. From a metaphysical perspective, what does it mean to vote? And just to go back to the privilege to vote here on Tuesday, I feel very grateful to all of the women throughout history that stood up for the right to vote. It was in the 1920s that we as women got the right to vote here in America. And so I just want to acknowledge our ancestors, those that came before us, that did the tough work, that spoke out, that brought this gift, this sacred gift into reality. We have the right to vote, and it's a sacred right. So just sending waves of blessings back through the channels of time to all of those women that made it possible for us as women to vote. And this isn't about women, it's about how the women's vote has affected so many of us, and really expanded our country's heart through the love and the wisdom and the intuition that women bring to casting a vote. So enough of that, and on to this idea of vote again and again. So what does that mean? I want to unpack this a little bit. So those of you that have been following us for some time, you know that I love to come up with acronyms, and I've come up with one for the word vote, and it is voluntarily opting to engage. Voluntarily opting to engage. And so I'm going to unpack this idea on a metaphysical level of what it means to vote, to cast your vote, to voluntarily opt to engage. Engage in what? Engage in life. So here we go, voluntarily. And I looked it up. Voluntarily means of one's own free will or free choice. So will, we have the willpower to control our external circumstances. We get to exert our ability to do something. We're stepping in, we're stepping up, we're making, there's a movement in consciousness as we embrace this idea of voluntarily. It's like voluntarily to me means I'm taking a movement in being responsible in my life and my ability to affect what my world it feels like and looks like and how I feel inside myself. I'm making a movement. I'm realizing that I am co-creative, that I can step in to life by my own free will, my own free choice. So voluntarily, opting. Opting means if you opt for something or opt to do something, you choose it or you decide to do it in preference to do anything else. So I'm opting, I'm voluntarily, I'm choosing to choose something specific. I'm choosing something specific in my opting. So the word choice, an act of selecting or making a decision when faced with two or more possibilities. So as metaphysicians, we have an awareness that the banquet table of life has been spread out, rich and abundant. We have at our delight infinite possibilities and probabilities and potentialities. We're not confined to receiving only a little. We, with our opening our perspective, we realize that we have many, many, many choices. Now, we may not feel that way, or we may not see the world that way until we wake up to this. So many of us here on the spiritual path have a realization that we are only limited by our own thinking. So as we start to expand our perspective, we realize that we get to voluntarily, we choose to opt into life, that we have a choice to engage and see the world as abundant. We don't only have one path to go down, we have many choices of the paths that we will go down. And so voluntarily opting, and then the word to. The word to expresses motion in a particular direction. So this acronym, voluntarily opting to engage, it's an acronym, but it's also an affirmation. It's a way of seeing the world and moving in the world intentionally. And so it helps us to engage more fully in our own ability to step out of maybe feeling stuck, feeling fearful, feeling uncertain, feeling disempowered, to a place of feeling empowered, to a place of feeling that I have a lot of choice here, a place of feeling our creative power. And so we use acronyms like this, or affirmations, or we read things that bring us to a greater realization of our co-creative potential. And this acronym acts as that. It's a catalyst for us to remember maybe what we forget with our linear mind, but what we know with our heart, what we know with our soul. So we voluntarily opt to, and we're moving in a direction now, we're building up momentum because we're reminding ourselves that I'm responsible. I voluntarily opt or choose to what? To engage. I voluntarily opt to engage with life, engage with my own happiness, to engage with my creativity, to engage with my friends and family, to engage with life in a way that is so authentic, that is so me, that is so inspired and empowered. So that's vote. voluntarily opting to engage. So engage in what? So vote. We're voting again and again. What are you voting for? What are you voluntarily opting to engage with? That is the big question. What are you voluntarily opting to engage with? And how do you know? You might say, well, what am I engaging with? What am I voting for? You're voting with every thought you have. Every thought we have is a vote. Every thought moves us in a particular direction, in a particular engagement with something. So our minds are the way we engage with life. Not the only way we engage with life. We also engage with what we do, our actions. We also engage with our hearts, with how we care and how we feel and how we emote. But we engage with our thoughts. We engage, so we're threefold in this way. We engage with our hearts, with our feelings, with our emotions. We engage with our bodies, with our hands. We help out. We practice random acts of kindness. We support our families and friends and our co-workers and the businesses and organizations that we work with. So we're physical, we're mental, we're emotional. We're threefold beings. And so as we dive into what it means to vote, as we dive into our ability to harness our mind, to cast a vote, we get to choose. We get to choose where we direct our attention. And why is this important? It's important because energy flows where our attention goes. What we give mental energy and attention to creates stuff in our lives. Have you noticed this? Have you noticed that what you give your attention to builds legs, so to speak? I know for me it does. For several months now, I've been unable to sit down due to a back injury. So that has hindered me from sitting down to paint. And I'm a painter artist. And so for months, I've been unable to create art. And while I've come to terms with that, I've done more meditation, more walking, more developing my friendships and doing other things that have been very delightful. There's this part of me that's been on hold, my ability to paint. So in that way, I've withdrawn my mental energy from painting. Therefore, I haven't produced any art. I haven't had that creative outlet. So this is an example of us casting a vote. I cast a vote every time I sit down to paint. I say that this is important to me, that I'm choosing this over everything else to pour my heart and soul into. Why? Because I love it. It feeds that part of me that is creative. Why? Because it brings beauty into the world. Why? Because I can touch other people's lives. I sell my art in galleries and I create beautiful greeting cards that go around the world and hopefully inspire people and touch people's hearts and make them feel loved. So there's a movement that starts here. Well, it starts in the heart, and then so I have this desire to create art, then I think about it, and then I think about it, and then I take the physical actions. So I'm casting my vote with my mind, with my heart, and with my physical, my capacity to move and have momentum on what brings me joy. So what is it that brings you joy? What are you casting a vote for? And it's not just the things you do. You're casting a vote when you think about yourself, when you think positive thoughts or negative thoughts, because those thoughts become a reality. So where are you casting a vote? And if every thought is a vote, then are you casting more positive thoughts, more positive votes, or more negative votes? Are you voluntarily opting to engage with the co-creation, with the creation of your life in ways that bring you joy and satisfaction, that positively impact the world, that lift up everyone and everything around you? You have a choice to make every moment, every day, every year. Year upon year upon year, we're casting our vote. And how do we know what influence our votes have? Well, we just have to take a moment to look at our lives. Look at the content of your life. And you can see how your votes, your voluntarily opting to engage in the creation of your life, has created a life that you can look at. Call it the laboratory of your life. And you can look at that and you can see that you've engaged from a scientific level, let's say, as our minds are part of this scientific engagement with life. We've engaged with our ability to think, and we've created a life through our thoughts, our words, our emotions, and our actions. Those four things have come together to now move us in a particular direction, and now has manifested through the law of attraction, through the law of cause and effect, you have created, co-created with God, with Spirit, with the universal laws, a life, an experience. And at the end of the day, when we're all at our deathbed, we'll get to look back and over the experience of our life. And hopefully it's one that you can say, wow, I really came here and experienced love and peace and joy and freedom and a whole lot more. But those four things. So that's what we're going for in life. Hopefully we come to the end of this physical experience. And by the way, life is eternal. So when we come to the end of the physical, it just continues into the mystery. So on this eternal journey of life, when we come to that place where we get to look back over our life, let all of us have the experience that we came here and we left a heart print, we left a soul print from our vote, our voluntarily opting to engage, hearts wide open on this joyful adventure, showing up and experiencing inspiration, experiencing so much creativity in our lives, so many heart prints on our friends and our family. And we received so many heart prints. Why? Because we were looking for that. We didn't have blinders on. We were voting. We were voluntarily opting to engage, hearts wide open, on our joyful adventure of life. Inspired, elevated, and grateful. That's what we're here for. So know that you cast a vote with every thought. Think of it. Last night was a blue moon. And a blue moon comes when there's 2 full moons in a month. And so we had one at the month of October, and then we had one at the end of October. So in that way, they call that a blue moon. So that blue moon, it's not really blue, but that moon last night cast a shadow on the earth. We, as thinkers, our thoughts cast a shadow on our life. Another way of thinking of it, our thoughts cast an imprint on our life. Are your thoughts casting a positive imprint in your life, or a not so positive imprint? I would imagine if you're like me, you want as many positive imprints, not only on your life, but on the hearts of your family, on your friends, and your world. So I have another acronym for VOTE, and it's victory over thoughtless engagement. So that's another way of thinking of this word, this powerful word, vote. And after knowing what we know now, after knowing that we can voluntarily opt to engage with our own creation of life, And when we do, we then have victory over thoughtless engagement. Because thoughtless engagement says, I'm not going to be a creative thinker. I'm just going to live by default. But when we become awake, when we become empowered, we experience a sense of victory over that default-like living. We become victorious over thoughtless engagements. We become the victors of our own conscious evolution. So, thanks again for supporting us here at Growing Edge Live. Thank you for engaging. We're creating a synergy by your being a part of our gathering today, so thank you. Your energy adds to the momentum and the love that is expanding through our mission and vision to consciously impact others in a very, very loving way. So thank you, and let's do an activation together. So closing the outer eyes and bringing all of your attention into your heart for a moment and feeling all of the blessings that you have received up to this point in your life, and take a moment to count those blessings. And as we join together today with all of our four-legged friends, the winged, the finned, the hooved, and the creepy crawlers, as we give thanks to the earth, water, wind, fire, ether, to the plant people, the stone people, the tree people, to everything Mother Earth provides us so that we can feel nurtured and safe and warm. We give great thanks for all that we've received. We give thanks to all those essential workers that are out there, all the medical professionals that are supporting all of those that are sick, all of those that are struggling right now with the coronavirus, all of those families, all of those that are impacted by this huge wave of struggle and suffering that we as humanity are experiencing. Just sending out a big thank you and a warm hug, an acknowledgement, saying that we see you, we thank you, we appreciate you. And so as we build up that momentum of gratitude and thanksgiving, how many times we feel blessed just by counting our blessings, by thinking of others, by doing our part, by voluntarily opting to engage in life, by having victory over thoughtless evolution or thoughtless engagement. And we lift up our ability to say yes to life and to say thank you for all that we've received. Thank you for our ability to cast our sacred vote and to create a life of meaning and value and purpose. Each and every one of us, let's just occupy that space and feel the full impact of our ability to bring good and light and love and creativity and beauty to the world through our thoughts, our words, our emotions, and our actions. For this we are blessed. All are blessed. Receive that blessing now. Breathe it in and breathe it out, and just see that infinity symbol moving, and imagine it moving through your body now, knowing that you are engaging in the law of giving and receiving, of bringing love and peace and beauty and freedom and creativity alive into the world, making a difference. We're so blessed. We're so blessed, so blessed. And together, let's say, thank you, and so it is. Peace and blessings. I love you. If we can support you, please send me a personal message, and we've got a team of practitioners that would love to support you in your prayers, in your visions, meditate with you, listen, support you in any way that we can. So lots of love to you, and we'll see you next Sunday. Mwah. Bye-bye.